आपको लोकसभा ले चलते हैं। विदेश मंत्री सुषमा स्वराज इस वक्त लोकसभा में बोल रही हैं।
Denied the involvement of their navy in the firing incident. Our High Commissioner personally spoke to Sri Lankan Prime Minister and Navy Commander on this matter. The Sri Lanka Navy, however, maintained that their patrol boats are not authorized to open fire at any point on Indian fishermen, even if they are transgressing into the Sri Lankan waters. Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Sri Lanka, in separate statement, conveyed their deep concern over the alleged firing and loss of life, reiterating the commitment of the government of Sri Lanka to ensure that all government agencies treat Indian fishermen in a humane manner at all times. The Sri Lankan government has further reassured us that all possible action will be taken in cooperation with the relevant Indian authorities to investigate the incident. Madam Speaker, President of Sri Lanka also conveyed to our Vice President in their meeting in Jakarta on 7th March 2017 on the sidelines of the Indian Ocean Rim Association Leaders Summit his regret at the unfortunate incident and the loss of life. He emphasized that he has ordered a full investigation. We will be pursuing this matter with the Sri Lankan government. Madam Speaker, it is because of the priority attached to this issue by our government that the fishermen issues were raised at the highest level, including by the Prime Minister in his meetings with the Sri Lankan President in the last 2 years. We consider the matter as essentially humanitarian in nature, involving the livelihood and socio-economic practices of our fishermen community. Both leaders had called for finding a permanent solution to the matter. I have also discussed the matter in great detail with the Sri Lankan Foreign Minister during my visit to Colombo in February 2016, when we co-chaired the 9th meeting of the India-Sri Lanka Joint Commission. We have since then steadfastly worked towards finding a permanent solution to the matter. Madam Speaker, last November, based on the feedback, I, along with our Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, held a bilateral ministerial meeting with Sri Lanka in New Delhi to discuss the issue in a comprehensive manner. I also had a meeting with the Fishermen's Association on this issue. I would like to share with the August House that an agreement was reached at the meeting to set up a joint working group on fisheries as a bilateral institutional mechanism to help find a permanent solution to all fishermen issues. It was also agreed that ministers for fisheries of the two countries meet every 6 months to review the progress. The first meeting of the JWG on fisheries was held in New Delhi on 31st December 2016, and the first ministerial meeting was held on 2nd January 2017 in Colombo. The JWG agreed to a set of confidence-building measures, which included an understanding to ensure that there was no physical harm or loss of life while apprehending fishermen by Navy and Coast Guard of the two countries. Madam Speaker, Government, as a result of the consistent efforts, has secured release of 1,045 Indian fishermen in custody of Sri Lanka in 2014, 375 fishermen in 2015, 333 fishermen in 2016, and 51 fishermen in 2017. While 85 Indian fishermen, along with 136 fishing vessels, were in the custody of Sri Lanka, Madam Speaker, I am glad to inform the House through you that all the fishermen have since been released. 77 fishermen returned to India a day before yesterday, and as I speak, rest of the 8 are on their way back to India. We are also pursuing the release of the fishing boats in Sri Lankan custody. I would again like to reassure the honourable members that the Government of India accords the highest priority to promote the well-being, safety and security of our fishermen. We have strongly conveyed to Sri Lanka that the use of force cannot be justified under any circumstances. Madam Speaker, the government continues to remain engaged with the government of Sri Lanka to ensure that the rights of the detained Indian nationals are protected and that the fishermen on both sides can continue to pursue their livelihood in a safe, secure and sustainable manner. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
विदेश मंत्री सुषमा स्वराज इस वक्त लोकसभा में बयान दे रही थी और उनका यह बयान इसलिए अहम था क्योंकि बीते दिनों 22 साल के एक भारतीय मछुआरे की गोली लगने से मौत हो गई थी। ये मछुआरा जब समुद्र में था तब आरोप है कि श्रीलंका की नेवी की तरफ से जो गोलीबारी हुई उसमें उसकी मौत हो गई थी और ये उस मुद्दे को भारत ने श्रीलंका के साथ उठाया था और इसकी जांच करने के लिए कहा था। इसी मुद्दे पर श्रीलंका के साथ जो कुछ है उस पर बारे में जानकारी दे रही थी और उन्होंने बताया, विदेश मंत्री ने बताया कि अब तक जो है तमाम जो फिशरमैन, जो मछुआरे श्रीलंका की गिरफ्त में थे, श्रीलंका में कैद में थे, उन सबको रिहा कर दिया गया है। सिर्फ 8 व्यक्ति हैं, 8 मछुआरे हैं जो कि अब लौटने वाले। इससे पहले बाकी जो रिहा हुए सब भारत लौट चुके हैं। साथ साथ उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि श्रीलंका को कड़े शब्दों में कह दिया गया है कि इस तरह के मामलों में और मछुआरों पर इस तरह से जो फोर्स का इस्तेमाल होता है वो नहीं होना चाहिए और भारत इस मामले में जो भी जरूरी कदम होगा वो उठाएगा। तो विदेश मंत्री सुषमा स्वराज का ये बयान अपने आप में बेहद अहम है। और इसी